This is chapter 5 from Canto 1, and this is where Narada is giving instructions to Vyasdev. So first let me give you a background story. Vyasdev has been instructed to write about the different spiritual texts, like say for example the Mahabharata and the Srimad Bhagavatam, so on and so forth. There are lots of things which he has been instructed to do. Now when I say instructed, there is nothing like somebody has given him instruction. It is the avatar himself. It is Krishna's own avatar which had come into existence for that purpose. And once he finished writing the Mahabharata, which includes even the Bhagavad Gita, which we are doing otherwise. So once he finishes that, then the idea that I have to do something else comes into the picture. Because there is always a dissatisfaction. Now let us try to see all these great authors that are there. If there are great authors in the world, they may write a bestseller. See, when you write a bestseller, what happens? Then you want to not stop at that, isn't it? You want to write more and more and more. And the more number of books that you write, then you are going to get a little bit of satisfaction. So in case of Vyasdev also, it is the same thing that happened to him. What happened was despondency comes in him. He feels incomplete. He thinks that, oh, I have done only this much. I need to do much more than this. Just writing about the Mahabharata or talking about it to his son and various other things doesn't mean anything. So can I do something more? So what is that something more? He has to think about it. And when he thinks about it, he realizes that he has not done anything on devotional service to Lord. If you recollect in the last chapter, what we had done was, I told you Vyasdev's entry was at a particular point in time when the Mahabharata and all that was happening, correct? So he has written about it. And then he is there during the end of the third yuga. What is the third yuga? The Dwapar yuga is the third yuga. So Treta finished, Dwapara is finishing. At the end of Dwapara, what happens? Sri Krishna leaves for his own abode. That is where the end happens. So here he is supposed to actually write about the devotional service. What is it that I love about the God? And he is, that's why, very despondent. He says, I need some inspiration and I need some kind of an understanding of this subject. Now at that time, Narada appears over there. And this is where we had ended the third chapter, or rather the fourth chapter. Now today we are starting the next chapter. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, which says Narada instructs Vyasdev on Srimad Bhagavatam. So verse 1 says, Sutta Goswami said, thus the sage amongst the gods, that is Narada, comfortably seated and apparently smiling, addressed the Rishi amongst the Brahmanas. Now, where are we placed? You should understand that Narada has come to visit Vyasdev. So Vyasdev is there. He comes to visit him. And when he comes to visit him, what happens? Vyas Muni does, all that is Agraya that was there. That means washes his feet and all that kind of thing. And then gives him an asana on which he is supposed to sit and give instructions. So Narada is now sitting over there. And he is looking very nicely, he's smiling towards Vyasdev. Doesn't Narada not know that he is Krishna himself? Vyasdev is an avatar of Sri Krishna. Why was this avatar taken? This avatar was taken because he has to now bring these scriptures into existence. First and foremost, what did he do? He had to break down the Vedas into small bits so that everybody can understand. See, you have to know why this is done. If I give the entire philosophy in one small book, how is that possible? I have to break down the whole thing bit by bit, so that everybody is able to understand it. And I am sure you recollect that Vyasdev has already split it up and he has offered everything to different Rishi Munis. Right? So Paila Rishi was offered something and so on and so forth. So the Rig Ved was given to Paila Muni. Now if you think on those lines, he has already distributed or redistributed the Vedas. Then the Mahabharata is what he wrote. And while he was doing that, naturally he became despondent, because at the end of Mahabharata, you see, you will find that the Yuga also will come to an end, because Krishna has to go away. So he is wondering now what to do, and that is why he is just sitting over there. And at that time Narada comes. So you will find that the whole story is in this. Addressing Vyasdev, the son of Parashar, Narada inquired, "Are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as objects of self-realization?" See, this is a very wonderful statement which he does. He says, here Vyasdev is sitting in front of him. So Narada is asking him this question. You see, what you have done when you were segregating the Vedas and every other thing that you did, you have given philosophies about realization, the self-realization aspect of it, isn't it? Liberation, self-realization, those aspects you are given. You are given an idea about the Brahma also. And you have said everything about the body and the spirit as well. So both these things also you have taken into account. So he says, can you tell me, how do you feel about this? That means, what is this body all about? And what is this spirit all about? Spirit soul, that is. So there is something which is called as a spirit soul. Sometimes some people refer it as the self also. So do you think, what is the difference between these two? And did you understand what is it that can lead a person towards self-realization? What is self-realization? Knowing thyself, who you are. You are not this body. You are the divine entity yourself. You are the divinity yourself. This is the idea which he is saying. So, were you able to understand? So, the satisfaction that a person gets by giving this knowledge. Now, let us say I am giving an exposition on self-realization. Okay? After giving you the exposition on self-realization, what satisfaction do you think I will get? I will not get any satisfaction, because self-realization means complete zero, whereas you are not at all concerned with it. You dissolve in the Brahma. Now when you dissolve in the Brahma, what is the great thing that you have done? Nothing. You are just dissolved. Okay? What happens to you? Where are you now? You are nowhere in the picture, isn't it? The one that was you is no longer existing. This is where the problem lies. So he says, do you think you are satisfied now that you are given the knowledge of self-realization? Your inquiries, that is, verse 3, your inquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled. And there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and a wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences elaborately explained. Now here, what is Narada saying to Vyasdev? See, you have given perfect knowledge, absolutely perfect knowledge about the self in the Vedas. Now you remember, he has split up the Vedas into, Rig Ved, Sam Ved and all that. So he says you have given all this knowledge, which is by itself self-satisfactory, isn't it? These are great studies. So he says, don't you feel fulfilled about it? See, fulfillment comes when a person says, okay, I now understand, and yes, I am satisfied with what I got. Right? Think about it. Satisfaction. It's a very dangerous word. How many people are satisfied in this world? Nobody is satisfied. You may be earning millions or billions, and yet you are going to be not satisfied. Where is the satisfaction? The satisfaction doesn't come to any person. Why? Because if you have one, you want two. If you have two, you want four. It goes on and on and on. You are not satisfied with what you have got. On the contrary, you are highly dissatisfied. Think about the people who are very poor. Absolutely on the streets. For them to get just rice and a little bit of dal is all that is needed. Look at your food. Your food is a plethora of things over there. Not just dal rice. You want to eat Chinese, you want to eat, Italian, you want to eat this one, you want to eat that one. You have got hundreds of vegetables, you got hundreds of, meats and dairy products and this and that. But the poor man over there in the street has got only two things to think of. Rice and dal. So when you get, are you ever satisfied? Nobody is satisfied. There is a great actor which I was reading about. He has got millions and millions lying in his bank account. He is a very old man and yet he is earning millions. And yet I heard yesterday or day before yesterday, whenever it was in the news, he has gone and bought 10 more flats. For what purpose? Flats, you understand? Okay? Houses. For what purpose? So that he can earn more. You see, earning more, what are you going to get? You see, you eat maybe 2 or 3 meals a day. Is it going to change your meals? That means today you are eating dal rice, tomorrow are you going to eat gold or something like that? No. So, person is not going to eat gold or some, diamonds for breakfast. He's not going to eat that. Then why do you need so much money? He already has many houses in Mumbai. Too many houses. Everything he has given on rent. And now he is buying properties after properties after properties. For whom? Ask yourself this question. For whom is this person buying? There is nobody worth giving that property to. It is such a sham. Human beings just want to keep on acquiring things. For what reason? So here, the fulfillment and the satisfaction never comes. Please understand this. Even when there are old people, say those who are above 60 and all, they might have finished working, in some company somewhere. They are working till the end of that particular age. And after that, what are they doing? They are just sitting at home watching television or just going out meeting their friends, and they are getting up late and doing nothing in their life. Absolutely nothing. Suddenly when they were working in some company or something like that, they were working 10 hours, 12 hours, they had to go to work and come back. So 10, 12 hours of their day was utilized. And now suddenly one fine day, nothing is there to do. And now think about the spouse dies. Then what happens? They are left with one very big vacuum. They are unfulfilled. All these people have too much money and too many things, and who stay with relatives like mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, this one, that one. Everybody is dissatisfied. Why? They want more and more and more. And more doesn't come anytime. I hope you get the point. This more is not there. There is no full stop anywhere. So what is it that can bring this full stop? Think about it. That is what Vyasdev is going through. He has written so much. Okay, think about it. He was working for some bank or some big institution or IT company, and now his retirement has come. What is he going to do now? He has finished his job, let us say. Then what? This big question mark is going to be in everybody's life. Now what? So this now what is a big question. Now think what is being said. This now what creates dissatisfaction, despondency. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. The only thing which you have to do when you go towards your retirement or when you go towards the end of your active life is to become a devotee of God. What else can give you satisfaction? Isn't it written in the scriptures that after grahasthashram there is vanaprasthashram? Is it not written? You are supposed to discard the world. You are not supposed to be acquiring stuff. If you are acquiring properties, if you are acquiring things, where are you going to go? You want this to eat, you want that to eat. I have not eaten, I have not done this. Now I want to go on tours, I want to go abroad, I want to do this. Oh really? And you think that is going to give you satisfaction in life? Nowhere. So satisfaction will only come to you if you take the name of God. Because He is only devotion filled. Now see what happens over here when Vyasdev says these words. So in your life you can apply these words, isn't it? Please apply these words. I think enough of this, running around after money, this, that. What happiness does a person get? Nothing. What greed can give you? See Mahabharata. Even that old man, who is that? Dhritarashtra, he is still thinking, I want to own this, I want to own this, my son has to get this, my son has to get this. What my son has to get? Shameful condition. Don't you feel sad for this man? What kind of an idiot is he? At that age also is without any eyes, he is still thinking we should own the properties. Got the point or no? Now think about it. You might have built a very big house and nobody to stay in it. How petty is it? And let us say now you have got husband and wife and you have built a big house, 5,000, 10,000 square feet, big bungalow or maybe one big garden and this and that. And suddenly the one person that you are staying with dies. So what are you going to do with this 5,000, 10,000 square feet house? You don't know what you are going to do. All your relatives are like vultures waiting for you to die. Isn't it true? They're all waiting in the, around you. When is this fellow going to die? When is this fellow going to die? When is this fellow going to die? They are saying these words. Why? They want that property now. And they want it for whom? For my children, my children can get better education. They can get better life. That is why I will sell this property and then I'll make some money and then I will use it for my own purposes. And then this person is brought a big property himself. Can you imagine this? Dissatisfied till the last minute. Man is never satisfied. You give him 5, he wants 10. You give him 10, he wants 20. You give him 20, he wants 100. That is how they are. And they will always give an example, I will reach this mark and then I will do this. I will reach this mark and then I will do this. So if I ask somebody, sir, if you have to leave this world and you have to come, what is it that you want? Oh, I want in my bank account at least, $1 or $2 million. Then I will come. Let us say God gives them $2 million. You know what they will say? Now, oh, inflation is so high, this is so high, that is so high. When I get 10 million, I will come. They give reasons after reasons after reasons after reasons. So these verses will tell you that human beings are the most dissatisfied creatures on earth. They want more and more and more and more and more. Never getting satisfied in what they have. No. Your inquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled. And there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and a wonderful work. Studies. Why does Vyasdev have to study? He's God himself. No. The understanding should be this. Whether you are Sri Krishna, whether you are Sri Ram, whether you are Vyasdev, or whether you are anybody in this world, you may be God Almighty also. When you take a human form, you have to start studying. You have to learn things. You have to become a student first. Right in the beginning, Sri Krishna or Sri Ram can't say, today I am going to teach this world. No. First you have to meet your Gurudev. If the Guru is not there, you cannot become Sri Krishna. You cannot become Sri Ram. You cannot become Vyasdev. You cannot become even Parshuram. Are we not doing that? Parshuram has to meet his Gurudev, Dattatreya. It's only when he meets Dattatreya that he can become Parshuram himself. Otherwise, he is a non-entity. He doesn't even know whom he is fighting. Do you remember when he was fighting with Sri Ram, he had no idea whom he was fighting with? Later on, he comes to know when Sri Ram tells him. So this is Parshuram. We are talking about a great entity like that. He is God himself. But if Parshuram doesn't meet Dattatreya, then his knowledge is going to be zero. No knowledge will come out. In a similar manner, every God who takes birth, even if Shiva takes birth, you have to understand this. Shivji has taken birth how many times? Many times, isn't it? Even Hanumanji is one of his forms. He has to get trained under a master. Whether it is even Sri Krishna, he has to meet Sandipani. Without meeting Sandipani, you can't do anything. Please understand this essence of how this works. And then, the knowledge is complete. What is this knowledge that we are talking about? The knowledge about the divine is complete. But there is always the trigger that is required. Till you are not given instructions by your Guru, you cannot take the next step. Please understand this. Sandipani had to give instructions. Vashishta Muni is giving instructions. It is not, when instructions are not given, you can't do anything. In my case, what happened to me? I was wandering around doing nothing. I had no idea. I told my Gurudev, I said, I don't have anything to do. I would rather jump in the Ganga and finish myself off. I don't care. There's nothing in this world that I need to know. He said, no. I am telling you to go and teach. Go. I refused. Many years I was reluctant. I don't want to teach idiots in this world. I was very harsh with the way I spoke. I said, everybody is a stupid person. What am I supposed to teach a stupid person? Then way later on, 2011 and 2014, well, he had to give me a kick. And he had to tell me, no, this is what you got to do. This is my instruction. You are disobeying my instructions. That is the time when I understood, no, I cannot disobey my Gurudev. This is my job and I have to be the best version for my job. And I started teaching. Now I teach in a completely free manner. I don't have to have hang-ups about it. I don't have to think that I have to go away somewhere. This is my Swadharma and I have to live by my Swadharma. So Vyasdev Swadharma is very important. He is supposed to do something, though he has written the Mahabharata and everything. And everything is explained so beautifully. So now let us see what he says. Verse 4 says, you have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahma as well as the knowledge derived thereon. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? So who is saying this? Narada is telling Vyasdev, see, you are the great Lord yourself. You have written the Mahabharata, you have even written about the impersonal Brahma. Remember, he has split up the Vedas, correct? So when he has done that, he has written so much, he has done so much. He says, you know the knowledge of the self also. Then why are you despondent? Oh wow, I have not done anything, I have not done anything. After doing all this, why is this despondency there? I have not done anything and I feel dissatisfied. Why the dissatisfaction? Imagine Sri Krishna in the form of, Vyas, and he's sitting over there, I am dissatisfied. I don't know what I am supposed to do. Think like that. So, then Vyasdev has to answer. Vyasdev said, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. For you are the man of unlimited knowledge due to your being the offspring of Brahma, who is self-born. So he says, he is looking at Narada and saying, you are the Brahma's son. And because you are Brahma's son, what happens? You know very well how these things are. Isn't it? You should also know why I feel so dissatisfied with life. Because there is dissatisfaction in me. Correct? This dissatisfaction has come to me in such a manner. Why has this dissatisfaction come to me? Can you please let me know about this? I want to know. So what does he say further? My Lord, he's continuing. Everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and the destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world. That is Sri Krishna, who is transcendental in the three modes of material nature. So Narada, remember, has the passport of going anywhere. Correct or no? He can enter whichever world he feels like. He is the person who has got unlimited access to all the gods. He can go to Shivji, he can go to Krishna, he can go to Mahavishnu, he can go to Brahmaji, he can go wherever he feels like. Whichever world that he feels like, he's got the free travel. Go, you can go anywhere. And he does it like this. In a moment, in a jiffy, he can go there. He doesn't have to take an aircraft or something like that, a rocket to go anywhere. He can just think about it and he is in that place. So he is a divine being. So Vyasdev looks at him and says to him, you have this ability to meet any god. The creator, that is Brahmaji, is known to you. Mahavishnu is also known to you. Shiva is also known to you. You go to even Kailasha. Right? You go to Vaikunta, you can go to Kailasha, you can go to Brahmaloka. You can go to Indraloka also. Wherever you feel you can go. You have so much of knowledge accumulated from all these sources. And the greatest of all is the creator of all this universe and everybody, including the three gods. Sri Krishna also you go to. You go to Goloka. And you have the knowledge of the divinity itself. So he says, you have this access to everything in this world. So your knowledge is going to be phenomenal, isn't it? So Narada's knowledge is well known. Remember, he is the one who has given us the knowledge on the devotional service called Narad Bhakti Sutra also. So his knowledge is phenomenal. Agreed. Like the sun, your goodness can travel anywhere in the three worlds, and like the air, you can penetrate the internal regions of everyone. As such, you are as good as all pervasive super soul. Please therefore find out the deficiency in me despite my being absorbed in transcendence under disciplinary regulations and vows. So here Narada is being requested. You are that great person who can travel from the end of the universe, from the macrocosm to the microcosm. See the beautiful words that are being mentioned over here. The macrocosm is that where the entire universes are concerned. How many universes? Infinite number of universes are there, and you can go to all these infinite number of universes. You can travel freely at will. That is what you do. And now, second thing which you do, you can enter the microcosm also. What is the microcosm? The microcosm is the atomic states, the smallest of the smallest state that is existent. Where is it? It is in the human body. The smallest of the smallest is within the human body. You are that one information guide who has the knowledge of everything within the precincts of this body itself. You have the knowledge of the self also. Do you get the point? Not just the physical body. He has the knowledge of the self as well. You are a self-realized being yourself. And you have everything under you. All that you want to. From the macro to the microcosm. And you know the super soul also. Who is the super soul? Sri Krishna himself. The big boss. You know the greatest of the greatest also. He is the one who creates and destroys. He is the one who has created the creator also. He is the one who has destroyed as well at the end of every yuga. The 4 yugas that are there. And he takes forms. Vyasdev, I am one of those forms, isn't it? So since you know all these things, can you please tell me what is it that is making me like this? Understood? And that is where Narada has to now give an answer to Vyasdev. What is it that is making him dissatisfied, despondent, and feeling that he has to do more, and what is that more? A small thing, more means devotion. Okay, we are going to learn about devotion tomorrow. And this is the reason why we have to know. Vyasdev is the essence of this knowledge, and he has to now give us this understanding about this subject. The scripture which we are doing has come from Vyasdev himself, and that is the reason why we have to know it. So we will stop over here today, and tomorrow we will understand how Narada then tells him the answer. Okay? See you all tomorrow.
Recording stopped.